One question that I get asked is, how do I get my team to work together? Now, that is an important question because even if you put people side by side, they might not work together even if you want them to. And getting your team to work together is really important because when they do so, you can harness the collective energy of your team to achieve the team results and to achieve more together. But if your team can't work together, then what you can possibly achieve is going to be a lot less. In this video, I'm going to attempt to answer the question of how you can get your team to work together. And here's a hint. It centers around influence. Specifically, I'm going to talk about the 3 steps that you can take, namely relationships, mindset, and culture, as well as all or as many of the associated leadership traits that you need to apply in order to successfully answer this question. So let's get started, shall we? The leadership traits that I'm going to be mentioning in this video are based off my research from First Time Leadership. There's a document called the 30 Principles of First Time Leadership, which tells you that combination of traits to allow anyone to be a successful first time leader. There's a link in the description below. If you want to get your hands on the document, just click on it. As I did my research and got feedback from leaders from around the world in order to answer this question, I noticed a pattern emerging. Successful leaders focus on relationships first, because when they have relationships with the team, it leads to trust, and with trust, it gives them influence. When you have influence, you can start to shape the mindset of your team to work together. And when you have established the mindset, you can then focus on solidifying it into the team culture. It always seems to be in this sequence of steps of relationships, mindset, and culture. When you are promoted to lead your own team, you might be the new person walking into an existing team. Or you may have been promoted so that now you're leading your peers. In any case, you may have an idea of how you want to lead the team. I think it's really important that you learn about them first. What are the current ways of working? What is the team culture? What are some new insights that you can gain? When you go about learning more about your team, you will most likely change some of the initial thoughts that you have about how you would lead the team itself. Even if you do want to go about making changes, you're going to need to first develop the relationships so that then you can build trust and gain the influence necessary to bring about those changes. As quickly as possible, you got to start building those relationships so that you can get the support from your team to make the necessary changes. And as a new person into the team, or even if you are leading your peers and you now need to readjust the relationships that you have with them, one of the best ways to go about developing that relationship is through one-on-one conversations. In one-on-one conversations, it's really like what it sounds. It's a one-to-one conversation between yourself and the team member. Usually in an informal setting that allows your team member to be comfortable so that then both of you can focus on getting to know each other more on a human-to-human level. This is something that you are going to have to initiate. So don't expect your team members to reach out to you. And I highly recommend that you schedule these one-on-ones with all of your team members within the first 2 weeks of you taking over leadership of the team. This way, you start early and quickly to establish the new rules of engagement that you want in your leadership of the team. And it's good to do so before things get settled down. The one-on-one conversations tend to be centered around 70 to 80% work focus, with the remaining 20 to 30% personal focus. So this gives you an opportunity to find out more about the work that the team member does and also who is the person that is your team member. And you can talk about a variety of topics such as their likes, dislikes, their strengths, weaknesses, what are their career aspirations, etc. Information that will allow you to lead them better. There are actually a variety of topics that you could talk about. For example, you could talk about the roles and responsibilities and whether that match up with the job description that they originally started out with. I've seen team members who have gotten pay rises after their roles and responsibilities have been recognized by a new incoming team leader. In addition to talking about their roles and responsibilities, you could also find out how each team member is connected to others in the team. You could also then look at what do they want out of their career, which will give you an indication of what does success look like for them, and that puts you in a position to be able to motivate and get them closer to that success. And with regards to that success, it will be an opportunity for you to then have a discussion about what sort of professional development the team member wants. There are many things that you could talk about in your one-on-one conversations, and it's clear that you're not going to be able to cover them all in just one session. But that's the idea. You're going to schedule more sessions further down the road and have these sessions regularly so that then you've got the opportunity to build the relationship over the long run. After all, strong relationships are not built on just one conversation alone. After you've had these one-on-one conversations with everyone in your team, you have begun to establish the relationships with them. It means that it's now beginning to be easier for you to be able to influence them into working together with each other. The next step is to start focusing on the mindset of your team members so that they actually see the benefits of collaboration, of working together. Here's how. In any team, there's bound to be diversity when it comes to education background, work experiences, worldview, etc. Not everyone is going to really understand the other person or everyone else in the team. Not everyone works with everyone else in the team. So as the team leader, you have the opportunity to lead by example and start working with every single person in your team. This will then normalize the behavior and makes it perfectly acceptable for any team member to want to collaborate with others. And especially in a team where team members may be doing different roles, it's a good opportunity for them to be familiar with what each other person is doing. So that when the opportunity comes up, there could be the chance for two of them to work together, and it makes it easier for each of them to see where other team members or their colleagues can complement the work that they do. As a team leader, you're going to come across pieces of work that you will have to assign to your team. So where possible, instead of assigning a piece of work, it might be an assignment or a project to only one team member. Now that you have a better understanding of each team member and as a team as a whole, you can break up that piece of work and assign it to two or more team members. What this does is that it compels the team members who are assigned that piece of work to work together in order to achieve the desired outcome. The process of doing so will give each other and anyone who is involved insights into how they can help each other in order to achieve greater results together. If you enjoyed this video so far, really appreciate if you give me the thumbs up. It helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. And if you have yet to subscribe to First Time Leadership, do click on that subscribe button to be notified of when new videos come out to help you with your leadership journey. And lastly, if you have any comments about what I've shared in this video, do share a comment below.